call the roll, please, Kirk?
Jim McLean.
Here.
Keith Bailey. Paul Muscati. Sandra York. Carolyn Lomas. Cindy Nord.
Was the meeting properly posted? Proper notifications?
Yes, sir, it was.
Mr. Bailey, would you lead us in the pledge of allegiance? If everyone would take a look at the meeting minutes from our October 21st meeting.
I've just got an informational question to Mr. Stein. What happens now since the approval was not given by the Planning Commission on the apartments? Is it a dead issue, or does it come back, or how does it handle from this point on?
Are you referring to the
Great Southern Home Apartment.
last month's?
Yeah.
That would be a dead item until further actions made on the developer. We've not received any appeal or anything of that decision. That's not saying that there might not be one. I'm just saying we haven't had one yet. I guess I could also add that it doesn't necessarily kill it indefinitely. It's a one-year time frame if they wanted to bring it back. If they just wanted to not do any appeal or go through any kind of process, they could wait a year and bring it back again, for what that's worth.
But it goes back to the Planning Commission, I would assume.
It would come back through us, through here, BAR, and then it'd go to PC again. So it'd basically just be like submit it for the first time again.
Start all over?
Yeah, just the same as a COA expiring or what have you. Yeah.
Now, the planning commission just made a recommendation. They turned it down,
They did.
but it still goes to council, right? Because they make the final decision, they just make recommendations to planning commission.
Right. Well, no, I think historically, Planning Commission has made those decisions here on, because they follow the state act as far as the powers given to the county by the council. They gave them the powers of what's adhered in the state act. Have you had a project fail here before?
So the
It's
answer,
supposed to go to
it
council.
doesn't go to council, you say, and once the planning commission says no, it's not approved, it doesn't go to council still?
That's the way the ordinance is written.
Yeah, that's different from what it was. Yeah. It used to be, it used to go to Planning Commission on the recommending body, and it would go to council for, could override it. But again, that's in the past, but it might have changed, so.
Anybody have anything to look at? I have a motion to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Kirk, would you tell us about the first item, first and only item?
Yeah, Miss Amy Stuck is here with us today, and they're applying for a COA for the repainting of the IGA Shopping Center, which I believe will eventually be rebranded to a KJ's Market. Is that correct, Amy? Obviously, if anybody's been in the plaza recently, you know, the paint has certainly seen better days, and Amy's group is just trying to get the paint on there to freshen up. And then I think at a later date, they'll be looking to do some changes to the parking lot, which is not included in this, but I think repaving, resurfacing, and the removal of some trees to replant, taking out some Bradford pears and replanting some other trees in the shopping center. So believe the, well, actually, let me pull it up. The colors are in the packet here. And Amy, if you want to come up and speak to it, or if the board has any questions.
We've already pressure washed, so it should have a little better curb appeal than it currently does. We've cleaned up all the faces of the signs and got rid of the nasty mold from the current drawings. So that you can see, so the, so we've cleaned all of this nastiness. Can you go to the last, who's got the slide, the last slide? So we've cleaned all of that off already with pressure washed. So all the faces have been cleaned. So if you go by there tomorrow, you can see all that brown is the twins will be gone. So where it kind of takes on that.
I'm sorry, you wouldn't mind, yeah, my.
If you want to be closer, you can hold it too. Where it takes on that little light green hinge there at the bottom, that will be a gray, the gray, which is the proper gray that you see here. That's going to take on the proper gray. Anything blue is going to be this, it's called a Pantone, but it's called Blue Blood. So we're going to pick up this little darker blue. And then anything beige is going to be this Drift of Mist. On the bigger slide, if you'll go back to down, come on down a little bit. This is this. So the big gray box there, yeah. Oop. I can show you on this one, right here. Yeah, I don't know. But on this one, if you'll see, we're going to use this darker gray. It's going to be on the backdrop here, behind where the IGA logo is. Then we're also gonna take that dark gray and we're gonna go around the band. It's called a cap band right here. We're gonna go around that. You can kind of see it a little more modified there. We're gonna do the top cap in that blue. It's gonna kind of stand out a little bit. Did not include, because it's not my job to come to you to approve KJ signage, but at the end of the day, KJ's goal is to brand all their stores the way that it's gonna look, and that's up to them to come to you for approval. But their ultimate goal, and this is not to be decided today, so I don't want this to have any relevance, but this is what their store prototypes look like. So our job is just to paint the center. What you approve when they come is up to you. But this is what I'm trying to achieve. And I just want just the cohesiveness across the entire shopping center. So we're just trying to get our colors in line. So based on whatever you approve when they come, our center will match all of that. So these are the colors that go with the KJ's concept. So we're gonna go ahead and paint so that our center is looking a little more modern in the 21st century and try to get rid of some of all of that. We've already gotten the pylon sign looking good, and we've cleaned all the faces and done all the sign bands, and we've already cleaned it. Seal coating and parking lot striping, all of that's been done. We cleared out the detention pond in the back. So the property is owned by a couple of gentlemen out of Lake City. They've hired the Virio Group, which is the company I work for. We also handle the Food Line Shopping Center here, so they've got some local boots on the ground managing the property, so we have some day-to-day contact. We've gotten rid of all the illegal dumping that's going on in the back. So hired a landscape company and a sweeper, so you should see some overall curb appeal of the shopping center that it hasn't had in the past.
Yes, I'm just wondering if you thought of possibly just using two colors and doing this roof in the gray?
That has not been considered because it's of the IGA or the KJ's Markets request that we do their store blue. But, so
Yeah.
that is why we,
Well, for me, it fits better. I don't think that's the best part of the building. I think it would look better with the gray there.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I want to bring up to the knowledge that Amy did have a preliminary consultation with our architect consultant, and he has provided us an email summary of what his opinions were of the color and choices. So his feedback was that he saw that the color choices and the palettes as presented in the building were compliant within the ordinance, and that he had no issues as it relates to his architectural opinion. The only thing he had mentioned was just a note for her for when they get into the paint application process of the metal roof, just ensuring that the painters they choose follow a proper adhesion process. But anyway, he noted that the colors were in the color palettes of the building and design standards of our ordinance, and they did not give any suggestions of color changes from that. That came from Ralph.
Excuse me for just a second. I brought copies of that email just so we would have that. You
Yeah,
mind if
good.
I pass that out?
No, not at all. That's the exact email I'm
Yeah, no, I
referencing.
just think it reminds me of the car wash and the changes that we made there, which made it so much better. So, just my thoughts.
There are no plans to paint the brick, isn't that correct? Is that- okay.
When you were first talking about the gray, on the other side of KJ's, where were you talking about that gray going? Okay, on the back wall, okay.
So it's an accent color, so it goes along this, it's just a little accent color, so it goes here. But as far as on the small shops, typically, it would just be, it would be a gray piece right here, And then typically it would just go in here. It's just a little accent color. And then this would all be the tan, and then this would be a blue cap.
So would it go on the back wall
I
or
will
the
need to come.
columns?
No, that would stay the cream, just like here. This will stay cream, just like this.
Okay.
So can you do that again now that it's right side up for me?
So this will be gray,
Okay.
just like this.
Yep.
It follows the same pattern. It's just a highlighted piece. It will follow the same pattern. This will stay gray. Then typically, the gray kind of goes in here. It's an accent color, but this stays the tan, just like these columns stay tan. This will have a blue cap, just like this is a blue cap.
Is this a different color than that?
No, sir, it's the same.
Okay.
It's just really hard to do color with Sherwin-Williams. I mean, we just don't have access to high-tech.
But that is a different color.
This is the gray that you
Correct.
have here. So this is the gray, I think, whichever one you got. This is the gray. This is the tan here. And this is the blue in this awning.
Daniel, when Ralph was looking at these colors, was the gray available to look at?
It was, his comment was, the other wall colors are certainly within the general parameters of the existing building colors, soft, not strong, bold colors. In both cases, I do not believe there would be any concern for the Board of Architecture review regarding colors as presented in this email.
So he basically approved the gray, or didn't have a problem with the gray?
His statements, he didn't have a problem with any of the colors. He felt that they were all within compliance.
The Ralph is an advisor.
Correct.
So he does not
That's correct.
He does not have any voting.
That's correct.
A question I have is, will the downspouts be the blue color, or will they be a gray or the cream?
I think they are scheduled to be the blue. However, I don't have a problem with them being whatever color we elect them to be. At this point in time, the gutter along the blue metal will be blue.
Yes.
But as they come down, we can tell the painter to make them whatever color we elect to have them. Typically, you make them the color of the metal. I just had the gutters replaced, and I chose to replace them in white because it was quicker to get white than it was to custom do a color when I didn't know what color we were going to be.
So just to make sure I'm
Yes, ma'am.
clear with you, so this is this color, or this is this color?
Well, let's
Is
get
this
you
the-
to the right page first. Let's get you to the right one. I don't think you're on there.
Can't show me on that?
Well, I can show you on that,
Okay.
but the tan is gonna be tan,
Okay.
but the blue will be blue, but you need to have one that has the gray on it, because your picture, you do not have a photograph that has gray on it, so it's gonna make it really hard for you to see gray. So if you don't have gray, you're not gonna be able to see gray. So this will be the tan.
Yep.
This is your gray. This is the gray.
Just for this strip here?
Just for that strip, just for this little piece right here, and this cap right here, and this outline right here, and this little header right here. It's just a little bit of an accent color is the only gray that you're going to have.
Yeah.
What about the back wall?
That is brick right there, inside of there, and there's just, most of that is brick.
Okay, so that's gonna remain as is?
Yes, sir, we're not painting any brick. All the brick will remain.
And brick is tan color?
It's whatever actual color it is now. It's a light, it's almost like the color of the back of her chair. It's a very light brown.
It's a wainscoting of brick, yes.
There's a wainscoting of brick underneath this edge, which makes this whole back wall, that's the wall I was asking if that's gonna be gray.
It's wainscoting.
I'm not sure. I can
In other words, the whole
confirm.
wall's not
Yeah,
not
I will
brick.
confirm. Whatever, if it's tan now, it will stay tan. This was two-tone before, but I don't think there's plans to change it. I can confirm that. I'm not 100% sure. I did not get into,
So it would be lighter than this?
I
You
can,
don't know yet.
I'm not 100% sure. Well, I can make a quick,
Yeah.
if you want it lighter, if you want it darker, I'm not really sure. I mean, I don't think it really matters to us.
Again, I think that the building with the two-tone here is excellent. This is not a piece I'd want to draw attention to.
Not here. This will
No,
always be
no,
metal.
The roof
The roof is, was going,
is
is,
not attractive, and
that is planned to be blue at this
I
time.
know,
We're,
that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. For me, it'd be better if it wasn't blue.
Let me ask you this question.
Yes, sir.
These dividers here separating,
They will be tan.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
will be the tan.
same tan is up at the top.
Yes, sir.
These portions are separating.
And they're tan now that we've cleaned them.
See,
They're tan now because they go along with these columns, so they will match those columns. They've been cleaned now, and you can really see them that they are tan now.
I don't, so they're a tan color now, they've been cleaned up?
Yes, sir.
It's tan.
It's tan. It's like a stucco. These are colored, and these have been cleaned, and they are tan, and they match their breaks, and they match this column line. And
Okay.
there are about 4 of them. When we pressure washed, they're shiny and tan, just like the rest of the center.
It sounds like we got a couple items we need to decide how we want to go. The roof being one, I think these dividers, these caps need to be talked about a little bit. Typically, a cap, if it's metal, it
Well, they're not,
retains the color of the roof, the metal roof.
right, they're not metal. They are stucco, or they're just like, they're not metal. They are,
they're part of the column, it looks like
they're
to
part of the
me.
column, yes, sir. They're part of the column. So
Kind of a continuation of the column.
Okay.
I would not think you would want to paint them. They're not metal.
And they only occur where the columns are located, too. It's about these things right here, see?
I can't hear you.
Hmm?
I can't hear you with the mic.
These dividers right here,
You
it's
see what
kind of
they're talking
a
about?
continuation of the column itself.
Right.
Do you see what they're talking about?
So I do think.
Are you-
that
I
Column
think
caps.
that's true. I do
On the
still
other
think-
side?
I still think the roof is not something you want to advertise.
They're saying that those are
For the brightness
metal.
of it.
They're
I do
concrete.
think the new color is better than the old color.
They're stucco.
I do
And
too.
Huh?
Yes,
he's questioning if they need to be painted blue.
And I guess what they're saying is the blue is part of their corporate colors, is what I think up here.
but we faced that before,
Right.
and if we want it, they have to do it.
What else needs to be discussed in terms of colors beyond the roof? Is everybody else satisfied with the other colors as presented? What does everybody feel about the gray versus the blue roof? Personally, I like the blue, but that's just me.
I love the blue, but not when you got this building and this roof is ugly. And for me, as an artist, and you don't want to emphasize that. It's like over at the car wash. But everybody has their own.
That's right, that's right. I'm glad the color
Katie?
is changing. I like the new color versus the old color a lot better.
Katie, what color would you suggest for that roof if it's not blue? The gray, the deeper one?
So you would only have 2 colors of the center and not 2-tone?
Yeah.
Okay.
You see this on both sides of the main building too. It's on both the left-hand side and the right-hand side. The blue awnings on both sides of the main store.
Right.
On the left side as you face it, and also on the right side, on both sides.
That was gonna be the opinion I was gonna say is the facing of this building, as what we're referring to as the roofs almost were designed to be permanent awnings versus, I mean, when you look at it, it strikes me more as an awning. I mean, it may not be the full intent, but
Right.
to me, you lose a lot of your architectural appeal by having only two colors, but, I mean, I'm not a voting member, but
Yeah, I
Uh,
think,
elements
I
of
think you need a
contrast are
third
important.
color because you don't have an accent color, just in my opinion, because then you would have a tan, a gray, and then you need a accent color. You need a third color for your metal.
I agree with you if you have something you want to accent. If you have a roof that's not particularly pleasing, then I wouldn't want to accent that.
But if that metal is made to be an accent, correct? I mean, okay.
If you went with a gray roof and we had to have an accent, and we keep the tan, any idea what you would make the accent?
No, haven't addressed that in any way.
And I'm assuming Ralph didn't address that in any way either.
Again, I think Ralph's review was that his opinion is that he felt the colors were compliant in our ordinance and didn't see there being issues with them.
Compliant and preference are two different
And
things.
those colors were the drift of mist, the proper gray, and the blue blood.
How about a darker gray as a third color, compatible with the gray that that you're proposing, but go a couple shades darker than the proposed gray?
Amy, correct me if I'm wrong, are we dealing with branded colors here for KJs? Is that not what we're?
Yeah.
Right, so you have a company brand that has anybody been to Winsboro and saw the KJ's market there in Winsboro?
Right.
With the blue accents on the sides, same similar building, the blue, the grays?
I don't know if they have that awning type.
They have metal there as well. If you have Google Earth, you can probably pull it up.
Yeah.
They
it
do
is.
have blue there on their store.
Is it this same dark blue?
It's the exact color.
It may be just a shade brighter, a little brighter blue than,
Ask her, I don't know. I'm not sure what you're saying.
I've been in that store, but I didn't.
it just,
Didn't notice.
you just kind of take it as you see it. Probably one of the more recent ones I just worked on was in, trying to think, with Greenwood. We just modified one in Greenwood and went with their color.
We have the blue top band too, see, this also being, have to be considered.
Up on top,
Yeah.
the center
It
section?
should be the same, is what I'm saying. Oh, that should be. Right.
Well, do we want to entertain a gray roof, or do we want to? So, correct me if I'm wrong, are these the three colors that make up the corporate palette, so to speak?
It's the three colors in your lease, yes, sir.
Gotcha.
And I will say that no one knew until I had a meeting with Kurt that we had to go before the town for approval to paint the shopping center. I'd actually signed a contract to paint the shopping center and was pulling the trigger to paint the shopping center when Kurt said, oh, well, you can't do that. And I was like, what? Because I managed the food line and, I just
it's on the food line? You said you just repainted the food line?
No, this is, we did the KJ, no, the food line and down here.
Yeah.
We just painted that the same exact colors that it is currently.
Ah,
It
okay.
currently is. We did not change the color of the food line, but, so I didn't run into that. We just painted the side of the building because we have some eaves on the side of the building. I think it's 725, isn't it? 725.
Yeah, okay.
It's 3 clear.
Is this color an improvement over what's there now, in your opinion? I realize you don't like it, but I don't like
Well, no.
this.
Yeah,
But-
no. Yes, it is because it's not as garish as this is.
I agree with that.
Okay, but this is not something I would want to propose that we draw attention to. I hear it's their colors, and we've had this before, and they've had to do what we said.
That's true.
So it depends what we decide.
Just do a street view.
I think it looks much better, and it's bright blue, we got on the picture.
Right.
I think the darker blue,
You'd like it in the blue?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Darker
good.
blue, yeah.
I don't,
I think the fact is too that, you know, that this is principally a repainting of an existing building that has been approved in the past. You know, I guess there's some obligation, I guess, to continue with some of the same theme as that was approved prior with colors. And this is essentially the same thing that was approved once before.
Right.
And I do think that I would prefer it be something other than the blue, but I think that darker blue is a drastic improvement over what's currently there. That to start all over again, I think would maybe not be the right thing to do too. Even though I understand what you're saying.
yeah,
But,
maybe if it's something we have to do,
Right,
that's something different, but
This is- this
asking
is-
us what we think,
right. This is
That's what I
mainly,
think.
this is mainly an upgrade to what's already currently there.
I guess we should have been told that.
Hmm?
We should have been alerted to that.
So,
We don't really have, they don't really want our opinion because they want it as what it should.
right,
We didn't know, and so
Yeah.
that's why we're
Right.
here. and
Yeah.
We have to do what you say. I mean, we're
Right.
not, I mean, it is what it is. This is why we're here.
But yes, Jim, if that's the case, I certainly can go along.
right.
And we'll see
It's so close to what's currently there that typically that a company can come in and repaint an existing building because it's already basically approved. And,
That's not our,
Huh?
that's not our preference.
No, that's not right. I could personally, I could go with the blue that's presented or with a gray, either one. I don't have any
You
problem.
could go with what the blue all,
This darker blue or gray, dark gray.
I think,
with this, with these two differences, or you'd put the blue somewhere else?
No, I would, as proposed, I would use the blue on the awning or gray, either one. Right there. Okay.
This is a store.
Now, where's that?
This is a store in,
Yeah.
Winsboro.
So that's the darker gray there, so which I think looks good.
This is a store in Winsboro.
that's not this blue, though.
It's pretty close.
Oh,
I went with, it's pretty close, and I went with a little darker blue than what they had, just
What's on
because
this roof right here? The
That's
darker
it.
gray?
That's that
That's,
one in,
that is the Grant One in Greenwood, it's this color. It just probably looks that way, but they went with that's their color. That is this color.
Doesn't look the same, does it?
Those two in the middle are definitely not that blue though.
No.
I mean, that's a different
That
color.
certainly got to be another color.
Yeah.
That's a gray. That looks better to me,
The blue,
the darker color.
oh, the awnings are the blue one.
what you're saying is, Jim, you like this color better.
No, I'm saying that center one, the one right there.
Yeah, I
This
don't
one.
know what color those are. Those are not, that's not ours.
This blue is what you're referring to.
There's two colors there. There's a
There
black.
is, there's a bronze, I call it bronze,
Bronze, yeah.
and a blue. Looks like this blue and that blue match.
And that is the blue.
Right.
But you like this color or this color?
I think it should be uniform all the way across.
Yeah, it would have to be the same.
Oh, I agree, I agree. So that blue is this blue,
I don't know, that's not me. This is this,
that's blue, that,
mhm,
okay.
that's this blue, which is what they have, and they took it, I was trying to do a street view. If you can see, they took it on
Right.
down the center
Right.
Right.
in Winsboro.
Nice to see it when you get the chance.
I don't know how to make it go, but they took it on farther
See
down.
differently.
Well, it's kind of hard with
I know.
light.
I know,
Yeah,
I'm aware of that.
But they took it on down the center,
Right,
on down into the center like we are proposing. You can see
yeah.
how they did that.
Yeah.
Same concept for the, to the smaller shops.
Well, if we're bound by the other, then we're just bound by the
Yeah,
other,
right.
and we don't have a choice.
That was
Right.
in Winsboro.
I think we're somewhat bound by,
Yeah,
the fact
I
is
think
that
you're right.
they're upgrading the existing building
Right.
and we're all making an improvement to it that.
I think the good news is it's an improvement over what's there,
What's there, right,
because what's there should never have been there.
right.
People like it.
Not really.
My grandson says, Nino, yank it.
But this is an improvement over what's currently
It definitely
on the
is,
board.
yes. And the power washing looks really good.
Have you noticed?
You know, no, I don't go out that way too often, but I know about
I've
that.
been
And when you do
Have
that,
you
you're like,
seen it?
oh, wow,
It looks-
this is great, so.
You, yes, it's nice to feel like you're going into something that's clean.
Right.
Right.
It looks much better.
I'm sure it does.
If we have some more days, I think we can knock out the painting probably a week. So we can see 5 days of warm temperatures and it could be transformed in 5 days.
So the scope of the outside is the asphalt's to be repaired, restriped, resealed and restriped.
They've already started with all the patching, including the large pothole at the entrance. That's in between us versus the
Right.
bank.
Right.
They've already started with all the repairs on those, and then all of the cutting out the large areas in the back. Then we will be taking portions of the parking lot and doing them in phases. We waited on the co-op to finish all of their work because of all the dirt. They just replaced all the transformers, the underground utilities. So Thursday before Thanksgiving, we lost power from 9 p.m. until 7 a.m. They cut off all the power to our center Thursday before Thanksgiving to do all of that. So there was a lot of dirt and debris in our lot. So now that that's done, we can clean the lot once it's rained to wash all that away. Then they'll start doing all the parking lot restriping, getting rid of all the oil stain spots in the parking lot. So we're gonna go back with white stripes versus yellow. White is just a lot more attractive than the yellow. And then we're gonna start working on all of the individual, we do not have irrigation in the landscape beds. So we're gonna start working on all of the landscape beds. And then that's whenever I'll start working with Kurt on what we can do with some of the landscape beds individually. But we're gonna, seal coat, restripe, and do all the parking lot. And slowly we're replacing all the signs, getting the tenants to redo their vinyl on their signs, like the liquor store, all of his red dots are faded. So Mr. Patel has to do those, the same with the nail salon, their letters are all gone, so I'm making them do those, as well as the pylon signs. So, working on that. And I welcome any ideas you have on the 6,000 square foot space next to the IGA. The maximum lease I can have there is 12 years. So that limits us on what kind of uses we can have. Everyone wants a restaurant. I'm local here to Blythewood, so I would love a restaurant as well, but I do not have anything or anywhere to put a grease trap. And that's my issue. So I can't have a grease trap, so it's gonna have to be a retail or a service type use. So
It's going to be an overall huge improvement.
it will. So, and we did have a new manager there, his name is Kevin. If you get a chance, he was wonderful, wonderful. If you get a chance to see him, I think he's doing a great job. Very responsive and really trying to do a good job.
Do you know when this was built?
Do not, Bet,
I was just
Gary
curious.
Young can tell
I was just curious.
It's certain on the tax map, probably tell Richard, say Richland County GIS can tell us, probably.
It's in the 80s, I can tell you that, but I can't tell you. That's in the 80s.
When it was here.
Is anything that we can do to prevent this in the future? This discoloration on these dividers talking about? Is there anything that we can do to prevent this discoloration?
You know where that's coming from? It's coming from those trees.
Come
That
from-
is from the trees, from the Bradford pear trees. That discoloration is coming from the leaves and the trees and not being pressure washed like it needs to be in maintenance. So getting all those trees are severely overgrown and all of those things are causing all that.
Has it,
As well as not being
Maintained.
But that is not metal,
No, she said it's
you said it's stucco, as she
It's
said.
stucco.
stucco.
that is.
That's odd.
And so if you go down to the side, which I've had repaired already, but down the side, away from IGA to the vacant space, you can see where the smokers from IGA stand, and typically all the smokers have a little garbage habit. They picked all the stucco off the side, or they just sit while they're smoking and hit it with their keys or their cigarette lighter or whatever. And I have a big hole there, and so that's a stucco, exterior.
I'm familiar with that. I'm talking about it's probably an expansion joint or a joint of some sort in that roof line.
It's probably a metal, it was a metal building, and so it's a metal, and they just covered it with some.
That's what I'm asking. Is that a metal? That's a metal cap then?
And so it's been capped, but it's got a cover, so we will paint that tan. It's not going to be blue or whatever, it will be cream to give it some type of.
Do we,
It's the same width, Paul, as the column. If you look at this, where the water's running off of, this dimension right here is the same width as the column,
right.
you know. So I guess,
Expect to maintain the repaint. Every 5 years to repaint.
I would probably say 7 to 8, probably, we don't repaint quite everything. The rear of the building, when we have some issues, probably a little more, but if we pressure wash them, we can probably get by with a 7. And we'll probably seal coat about every 3. We will be hiring a sweeper, which this property has never had before. We don't have islands in this property, and this is just some little property management 101, but if you go to like your Food Lion, you've got islands and you've got curb cuts, so it catches, and you've got curbs, so it catches all the trash when it blows. They get up against those curbs, but when you've got a shopping center like this one, it's wide open, so the trash goes to the outside. So if you drive around it, everything's in the woods. It just blows into the woods, so it looks really dirty. So there's no curb around this property. I would love to put up an ankle fence or something just to catch it, because it's really hard to keep it clean. It's just a wide open area. There's no way to catch the trash, so I've got to get a sweeper or someone employed to hand gather trash.
So the Bradford pear trees, are they coming down or not?
The root base is so large, we've got to figure out how to do that without it being such a huge expense. It's going to tear up all the curbs, all the concrete, and most of the asphalt.
And of course, we're being encouraged not to have Bradford pears.
Oh, exactly. We don't want them. And that was one of the things Kirk and I were talking about, was what could we put back in its place? But once you cut them down, what do you do with the stump? How do we get rid of the stump? And then what do we put back in when we don't have irrigation? I would love to take all 5 of them out of the front, but what could we put back? And if you have ideas, I'm very open to that. What could we put back in that, and I could even water with gator bags or whatever, but what could I put back in that we could, and then until I can get that stump out of there, and how could I kill that stump with, drilling in it and letting that stump rot? Because I don't think pulling it out of there is an option. It's just I don't know how far under those slabs they go. They've been there.
I think in
40
landscape
years.
ordinance, there's a whole list of native plants. I think the only thing that landscape ordinance calls for is whatever's planted is a native plant to the area.
Okay,
Has to be a native plant, along those lines. Right,
right. So,
right,
But you can and can't plant.
right.
so I mean, that would be something that is high on our list, to get those down and
Right.
to put,
Right.
to get the 5 of those out of there, because they're
Right.
huge, but getting the stumps out is almost impossible at this point.
Paul, let me ask you a question. The only big thing that's bothering me about this roof is these dividers. And is there any design advantage to having those a different color than the rest of the roof?
What,
This colored,
I agree with you. I agree with you.
that bothers
That,
me more than.
what I'm trying to say is typically, that's a piece of roofing metal, and it's roofing that
Right.
matches the roof there. Of course, you can make it any color you want to make it.
Right.
But my point being,
Why you didn't say
I'm
color?
expecting that that's metal. It looks like metal on the edge. Am I
I
dreaming
think that
this?
is the gutter that you're seeing.
Well, I see the gutter.
Yeah, there is a stuccoed concrete band that goes across the tops of those roofs every 3 or 4 columns.
But I'm talking about the band.
Can we Google
It's right
Earth
in
it?
your 10.
Can we Google Earth it?
I'm talking about this piece right here.
No, that is dirt.
I have never seen that as metal, and I'm sure it could be. I've never seen that.
135 Blythewood Road, yeah.
You don't see it in any.
See how that is? That's metal.
Right.
That one was built afterwards.
I don't see any advantage to it being a different color.
No.
I don't
We
see
could
any
put a-
advantage to it being stucco if that's stucco.
We could put a piece of metal over the top of it like the other center.
Right,
If
nothing,
you,
is what we're talking about is,
That's crazy.
but is there any kind of design feature that would say for it to be a different color? Not that I know of.
You,
I was trying to see.
if it's metal, it's gonna wear just like the roof right next to it, regardless of color.
Right.
And if you wanted to put a
If it's
different color.
metal, it would
I don't
be,
think I think
blue.
it's the same as the roof.
if it's metal, we would definitely paint it blue, but it's currently not metal.
That's
But it can be covered with metal, though. It can be
Yeah,
recovered.
it could be.
Right. Same color as the roof.
Yeah,
Which,
what I would
which,
suggest.
that's what I think it
That's
ought
what I
to be,
would
the same as
suggest,
the
right,
roof,
right.
yeah.
which is what that shows
That's right.
in that other building.
I think absolutely.
Daniel, I got a question about signage. We said this is not gonna affect signage or not gonna address signage right now.
All right. Hold on one second. I pulled up really close on Google Earth. There is a very close photograph of the, if you go up and you turn right, can you make your little man go straight up a little bit, Kirk? And you turn right,
That's metal.
there's metal on it?
That's metal. I don't know how they got that color on it, unless it's that color metal, but that's metal.
Well, if you want it blue, my friend, I can,
I would say this, whatever,
well,
whatever the roofer recommends it be, I doubt he's gonna want stucco on his roof.
You're saying you think that right there is metal?
Blow it up and look at the very end of it, and tell me if that's stucco, how they put the edges in like that.
Show me what you're,
can you drive down anymore?
are we talking
Your
about this
computer
big
don't like you, does it?
parapet here, or are we
If you blow
talking
that up
about?
and look at those edges,
No, what are you talking about? Those are that.
this edge of the corner.
Or it can, certainly
This is
can be
stucco.
capped anyway. It can be.
I'll bet you $1,000 right now.
Uh-oh.
Don't have 1,000.
I went on
bet,
this
but
bet.
I'll bet you,
Careful.
We're
the-
betting now.
We're
Careful.
we're betting, and
Careful the mic.
I want in on the bet.
Where is that?
My money's on stucco.
Where is that? It's right across the street. This is right beside the liquor.
so that's
This is right beside Prince's House of Pizza.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that one right there beside the, now he's gone. Oh, by the way, we got rid of the pawn shop. He's gone. Yes, ma'am. His lease isn't up until 26, but he will be gone in 26 as well.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Princess,
Check out the parking lot there.
We driving over there? It doesn't want to go for you?
I'm fine. If the roofer accepts stucco or insulation and stucco on his roof, I'm fine with it. I still don't think that's what that is, but
But we want the same color.
I think it ought to be the same color. But
I
that's-
think
that-
it's
that's
tan.
my,
Me too.
that's my 2 cents.
You think it's tan?
We're gonna do that.
You think it needs to be tan or,
Definitely not doing.
Whatever color the roof is.
oh, see, I think it needs
I
to
don't
be a
s- I don't
column.
think you want to call attention.
right.
See, I think it's a parapet wall like this. See, I think if you make it blue, see, it's a defined parapet wall. Like it's a wall, like it's a corner.
I agree.
So-
Down on the roof.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of a continuation of the column.
I think it needs to be separate.
No.
It's always same color throughout the same, all the way across. If that's metal,
Yeah.
It's not metal.
No, what he said, the blues are metal.
The blue is metal. But- Well, no, because that, you see, that is part of that wall. See,
That
and
may-
that goes down.
I feel
So
like that is ephes, and it's probably just mold from where the water's not running
It
off.
is,
because
and it's
Sure, I'm
clean
sure
now.
there's mold on
You're
it.
getting closer.
But you're
It's
gonna have that same problem, is what they're saying. If you made it blue, it wouldn't be as noticeable.
But it's gonna be cleaned. Okay. Oh, you're getting closer. See, and it's just the breaks in the
If
road
it,
change. Okay,
if it could match the roof, we would prefer it match the roof color? Is that
Yes,
what we're saying?
absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
And I think the comment that was made early is that the downspouts off the gutters should match the column.
okay.
That's stated, I think Carol and somebody stated it should be,
Right.
match the column. Not-
Downspouts match the column, okay?
Well, it's still gonna be blue though, see, that's why you don't want blue. Well, at least it won't be as
Daniel, back to my question on signage, that this package does not address it.
Yeah, I
When the signage package comes in, I guess we're expecting it to address the signage for KJ's on the building, as well as on the sign, the ground sign out by the road.
The monument sign, right?
Is that correct? In other words, I guess the other way to ask the question, does it affect any of the other signage that's already existing?
On the shopping center or?
On the shopping center, on the different shops?
As far as it's on the monument sign or as far as it's these other independent businesses?
Both. I'm assuming it does it is my question. I'm asking.
No, I would assume that KJ's will bring in their signage proposal for their building and then for their part of the monument sign.
Okay.
And they already have their dedicated spot on the monument sign, so nothing that they are doing or no spot that they're taking increases. They get the space on the monument sign that is currently occupied by IGA. Nothing is changing on that monument sign, so they do not get a larger space on the monument sign.
Right.
We have just taken away all the spaces that are now vacant. There were some black panels, we got rid of those, and we just moved everybody up so it doesn't like a smile with no teeth. It's just a cleaner sign.
So are these gonna remain then?
Yes, that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
So on the main building, instead of IGA, KJ's logo and whatever signage accompanies that goes on the main building.
Vape? What are you saying? On the,
That thing really doesn't like you, does it?
the vapes are the,
No, I'm sorry.
the,
All the existing shops, what I think I'm hearing, the existing signage for the existing shops remain.
yes, sir.
KJ's though, it's just what's on the main building that changes, correct?
When the time comes for them to do their rebranding, they will come to you, and the only thing will change is their sign
Okay.
package for their space.
Okay,
And that's all they will have control over.
I'm clear.
One last comment from me. I think one thing that works against the building that you have is the inconsistency in the appearance of the signage. If you look at what's over these, each one of these buildings, they're all different, all have a different look to them. I think if they were consistent in what they, on the faces of the
agree.
sign,
I agree.
that it would add a great deal to the quality of your building.
You have to rework it with everybody.
Yeah, you'd have to come up with a standard, you know, as it changes over to try to adhere to a standard where everything at least has the same format. I know the copy is different. But
Well, if you look behind you, the boxes are all about the same size on those.
Right.
But you have a national tenant like Dreyer, they have their own font, they have their own logo. It's very hard for us to dictate. They have to use red, they have to use this. It just makes it very challenging.
What you'd have to do, though, is just specify a white, you know, a white.
But
acrylic
we're,
with a white
but
translucent
all
acrylic.
the boxes are going to be painted the same color. Everybody's going to be using the same size box. Everyone's panels are gonna look
The
basic,
black one won't be used,
excuse me, black?
the black.
No, sir, once the painting's
Okay.
done, Prince's box is a little different. His space, his sign band is a little larger. And so Golden Pond is now gone, so that green sign will be gone as well. So everyone will have a white panel going forward.
Right.
So those are the things. And I did remove the two panels, the two boxes from the 6,000 square foot space that is now vacant. It had two boxes, and I'm not sure why. I went ahead and took those off when we painted the building,
Right.
because in a perfect world, I'd only like for them to have one box
Right.
when they went back in. So I went ahead and took the boxes off the building.
Well, that consistency will add a lot to the appearance of the building.
What else? Anybody? All right, I need somebody brave enough to come up with a motion.
I get tempted.
We'll cheer you on.
I move we approve the existing palette of colors as presented, that the downspout will match the column color, based on the color of the column, and that the, I guess, metal roof dividers, the divider be the same color as a metal on the principal roof.
I say,
I'm not sure I've got everything in there.
Oh, we need to say something about colors.
I said we approve these palette of colors.
repeat it one more time.
Yeah. Recommend that we're approving the palette of colors that were given to us.
Downspout to match the roof.
No.
The downspout only to match the color of the column.
It should be beige. How about we just say that it is going to be the proper, or the drift of mist? How about they will be the drift of mist color?
All right,
Just be specific. It's the light color, the drift of mist.
right, yep. And I'm calling a metal roof divider be painted or covered with the same color as the existing metal roof. Those colors.
So for clarification purposes, just for me, in this picture behind you, just the piece that is sticking up will be blue.
Yes,
Just that piece, that hump will be blue.
right.
Perfect, I can do that. Okay?
And I would recommend too that you power wash the columns, power wash the brick.
it's already been done.
Good.
Please ride by tonight on your way home.
Is there anything else? Let's get
The
into-
exterior, we need to address the parking lot.
Right. In terms of,
In terms of landscaping, ultimately landscaping.
well, yeah, but that's part of the landscape ordinance, I think, is controlled by the town anyway, but comes under the landscape ordinance.
Okay.
It already
Well,
exists, isn't that correct, Daniel?
Well, we're not talking about landscaping tonight.
Right, it says part of the landscape
Right,
ordinance.
just the paint colors.
Right.
Just be nice to me when I come back.
So the asphalt work,
Is underway.
but it's a different scope.
It's a different,
And I don't need permission for that as far as I know.
Okay.
It's underway.
Okay.
Please, please
No,
don't.
no permission for asphalt
Thank you.
resurfacing.
We
Nope.
can assume that the sidewalk will stay the same, right?
Sidewalk is cleaner, but it's staying the same. Nothing's happened. It's been pressure washed, yes, sir. Or being pressure washed, I should say.
and I don't know if we need a comment in there about the signage,
There's no signage is
not-
being discussed tonight, just,
but I'm
Not
talking about in
today.
terms of just consistency of the color.
Not tonight. no.
there's no signage is being discussed tonight. It's just the paint colors of the building. They're not doing anything with signage.
Okay.
Completely different scope.
That covered?
I think so. Any other comments? Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Just for the record, I marked Jeremy's name down as here, but I did not call it out, so I apologize. But I want to, for the record, I've got you marked as present.
All right, thank you.
Anything else we need to talk about? Make a motion to adjourn? All those in favor say aye. So you wanted to change the color roof and you need a ride home?
I do.